I promise.
I promise.
I promise.
I promise I will answer the call.
I promise I will answer the call.
I promise.
In good weather
And bad.
For small and large.
From land,
Sea
Or air.
Near
and far.
I will answer.
I will answer.
I promise. I will answer the call.
This is my job.
This is my job.
this is my job.
This is my job, and so much more.
It is challenging.
It is amazing.
Sometimes it's very hard.
It is meaningful.
Sometimes it's heartbreaking.
It is extremely rewarding.
I promise. I promise.
I promise.
I promise.
Will you promise?
Will you promise?
To just start somewhere.
And make a world of difference.
I promise.
I promise.
Using explosive devices dropped from the airplane and all kinds of tactics that weren't allowed. There was just explosion after explosion after explosion.
When you were standing in the wake of devastation, when you were waiting on the edge of the unknown, and with the cataclysm raining down, insides crying, save me now, you were there impossibly alone. Do you feel cold and lost in desperation? You've been
I had the opportunity, I was blessed to work with quite a few babies. Unless there was an absolute critical medical need, we never made the decision to separate babies from their moms. We never ever moved a calf unless the mother had already weaned it. I heard those same claims in the movie Blackfish, and I, scratching my head going, I don't know what park these guys worked at, but not where I work.
They have a picture of Takara with her calf Kohana. Right now, Takara is in Texas and Kohana is in Spain. So they're so stupid that they couldn't even use a picture where the two whales are actually still together.
Is there any chance that Kohana's just studying abroad for a semester?
There's been a lot of unfair criticism about Seaworld these days, and it has a lot of people asking questions, which I totally get. So today what we're here to do is to try to answer one of those key questions that almost everybody has about our killer whales. So the question comes from Kylie on Twitter, and Kylie asks, PETA says killer whales in the wild live 30 to 50 years on average, but your whales have an average lifespan of only 9 years. Is that true? Kylie, firstly, thank you for asking the question. And I gotta tell you, it's absolutely not true. But you don't just have to take our word for it. Some of the best marine mammal researchers in the world work for the federal government at the Alaska Fisheries Science Center. You know what they found? That killer whales that live at SeaWorld live just as long as killer whales in the wild. In fact, one of the authors of that report told the Wall Street Journal, quote, "Survival in the wild is comparable to survival in captivity." That doesn't happen by accident. The reason our killer whales are living long lives, thriving and healthy here at SeaWorld.
If the sky had blown the heavens into stars, we felt the gravity of tempered grace falling into empty space. No one there to catch you in their arms. Do you feel cold and lost in desperation? You build up hope, but failure's all you've known. Remember all the sadness and frustration, and let it go. Let it go.
The movie Blackfish asserts that we use food as the only motivator to work with our animals, and it's simply not true. Our animals receive all of their food, all of their nourishment, regardless of how they perform throughout the day. They do not have to come into the show to be fed. In fact, one of the bigger challenges that we have day in and day out, both with the whales, with the dolphins, with all of our animals, is holding them back and keeping them out of the shows. Much of their reinforcement, much of that food comes for just, hey, sitting back with me, hang out with me, have fun back here. The shows are inherently reinforcing for them because they enjoy doing them.
Killer whales raking each other, bottlenose dolphins using their teeth to interact with each other, and the resultant marks, those are rake marks. The suggestion that's been brought forward is that this is somehow abnormal, that this is an indicator of a problem. The truth of the matter is that all toothed whales and dolphins rake each other. This is how these animals interact with each other. That's absolutely the case. You'll see it in bottlenose dolphins and killer whales in the wild. And in fact, our killer whales have been living here for a long time. They are still killer whales, and they still interact with each other in a normal way, and rake marks are just part of that. Our male killer whales do have dorsal fins that are bent. The dorsal fin is not an indicator of the animal's overall health. The dorsal fin is a structure like our ear. It's made of similar material, and it doesn't have any bones in it whatsoever. So our whales spend a lot of time at the surface, and accordingly, a tall, heavy dorsal fin without any bone in it will slowly bend over and assume a different shape.